You're tuned in to the Connection Podcast. We are a team of content creators and digital marketers connecting you each week to successful entrepreneurs and marketing experts that provide informational, inspirational, and motivational success stories in the world of digital marketing.
Yo, 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 and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Connection Podcast. If you haven't already subscribed, smash that subscribe button right below. Remember, we're also on iTunes and Spotify. My name is Alex, and today I am with a lady that does the marketing for one of the largest rodeos across the nation. My guest today is Mandy Lindquist with the California Rodeo. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing super awesome. And it's July, and it's big week is coming.
It is.
Here for those in Monterey County know and understand what big week is, but those across the nation might not always hear what big week. Right?
Right.
They don't always hear the phrase big week, right?
Yeah, that's Signature Salinas, and it's the week that surrounds the California Rodeo with all of the events that we do, parades, concerts, barbecues, a lot of different things. And so that's what we call Big Week here.
I love it. And July is, over the last couple of years, it's just been a really exciting time for me and my team. And again, we're really honored to be sitting right across from you today.
I know we love having you guys a part of it. It's definitely been great getting to know you and seeing all the great work that you do.
Thank you. Mandy, let's start with, I got a list of questions so we could I could stay on topic today, because those that know me know I like to veer off a little bit. and you and I, once we get in a room, we just talk for days, right?
Yes.
Mandy, let's start with just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, this is my 12th year as the marketing manager for the California Rodeo Salinas. I was born and raised in Salinas. I've been going to the event my whole life. My dad's a volunteer. He's also a team roper by hobby. So I grew up going to a lot of different Western lifestyle events, and I love it. It's great to be a part of the community and give back and produce one of the most awesome rodeos in the United States.
That's amazing. And I was just going to ask you, how did you get into rodeo? But you just said it. Your dad.
Yeah.
Huh? Have you,
Yep.
you grew up on a ranch or?
No, actually my dad did, but he moved from Lockwood down in South County to Salinas in his mid-20s, and I grew up here. I visited the ranch. My mom's family was involved in horses too. She was a rodeo sweetheart back in the day, not for Salinas, but yeah, it's just been something I was lucky enough to grow up with, a horse or a pony in the backyard. I competed in 4-H events, and it was a great way to grow up.
Awesome. Talk to me a little bit about, for those kids, 4-H is huge, and that's not all my question, but you said 4-H, and I mean, look at you now.
Right.
I find it to be a very valuable program for the youth. Yeah,
absolutely. It gives you the exposure to a lot of different areas of agriculture, as well as leadership and camaraderie and responsibility of taking care of animals and things like that. So I feel like it's really helped me, at a young age to get to where I am today.
Awesome. I love it. I asked you this earlier off camera. Do you remember your first rodeo?
I don't. I think just because I went to so many team ropings and ranch rodeos and things when I was little, I can't remember the first one. And then obviously always coming to Salinas in July to watch and hang around with my friends and just be a part of it.
It's great. Let's talk a little bit about the rodeo. We call it the rodeo. Mm-hmm. Why don't we call it the rodeo? So I could be in Wyoming and I'll say, yeah, let's go to the rodeo. That sounds cool. And it's like, no, it's rodeo.
Yeah, right. They'll look at you funny
right.
if you say that. Well, so it comes from the Spanish word rodear, which means to surround or round up. And that's what the original gathering used to be, was ranchers gathering their cattle. So we do the traditional pronunciation rodeo. But it is the sport of rodeo, and when you go to Texas or Wyoming, they're not going to know what a rodeo is.
Don't say that, huh?
No.
Don't say that. See, that confuses me just a bit, But
right.
And I'm sure it confuses many. But those that live in our community here in Salinas, throughout Monterey County, they know rodeo. You get a little slap on the wrist if you don't say that, right?
Right. It's a point of distinction and something everybody's proud of. So it makes us unique.
And even a lot of the competitors that come in, and those that come from all across the country, they kind of start to embrace that, huh?
A little bit, yep.
Yeah. I kind of noticed that some people, out that I mingle with in my short timings being around, that they're starting to embrace the rodeo verbiage. Not
Right.
This is the rodeo, not the rodeo.
Right. Well, it's 109 years, so I guess they're catching on.
That's awesome. Yes, and that's what I was speaking of. 109 years, 109 years of tradition here in Salinas. Talk to me about, again, that rich history that we have with the rodeo.
Absolutely. It's amazing to even try to grasp what 109 years is. And the rodeo started out as that roundup and then this Wild West show that was kind of in between horse races. And then it became its own standalone event that has gone through so many changes, with society or the city and just things changing. But it's remained a premier event here, something that people love and come back to every year. Tradition is huge. We say it's where the West comes alive. So it's, the chance for people to come experience something that's been around for so long and the Western lifestyle and culture. And it's pretty impressive. And to be one of the top 15 or 20 professional rodeos out of 600 across the United States and the largest in California is something that we're really proud of. But what we're most proud of is being a part of our community, because we're also not for profit. So we give back almost $500,000 to local nonprofits and other Western charities. As well, that includes scholarships and ticket donations. And we have nonprofit groups that come out. We're talking about 4-H and the responsibility. We have groups that come out and work shifts, and they sell programs and park cars, and they earn money for their causes so they can buy their uniforms and do different things for their clubs and organizations. So it's really great to be able, for me, to go to work every day, because I am full-time staff, but know that we're giving back to the community and doing such big things. And then it's also great part of the rodeo industry. I mean, when we go somewhere, people know about Salinas, and, they're looking at different things, how we're doing things, and, to be able to keep the tradition alive for so long is something everybody admires.
Yeah, I'd love that. That was actually one of my next question coming up is this is such a huge event, not just for rodeo and rodeo lovers or rodeo lovers, those that are watching across the country, but this is a huge event for the community. And I think that a lot of people are still not really fully don't really know that, and so that's really great that you really just tapped into that right away. You kind of answered my question.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. This is huge, and that's something that I think I don't think it really touches me. The giving back portion of it, all these community events is really huge because of their graciousness to the community, and it goes full circle, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have 1,400 volunteers that help us to put on the event. And then in addition to just rodeo, I mean, it's entertainment too, because here we are in Monterey County where you can pick, 6 different events to go to every weekend. And yet the rodeo is still a standout, still unique. We still get over 50,000 people in 4 days, which then leads to a huge economic impact, which is great for the city. It's over $11 million in just the 5 days. That doesn't even count the concert and all of that. But also, the Salinas Sports Complex is a true hub throughout the year, and the California Rodeo Association runs that. And so, we're maintaining the facility. There's places for people to rent. There's other community events that happen there. So it all ties together. But obviously, July, I mean, that's prime time for us.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. Again, 109 years of tradition. The competitors come, again, clear across the country. What makes getting that Salinas buckle so prestigious? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So a lot of rodeos do give out belt buckles as their prizes, and we have been doing a really distinct and prestigious buckle for years. And next to their world championship buckle, a lot of the cowboys and cowgirls will say the Salinas buckle is what they want to win. And so even if we've had to make budget cuts in other areas, we try to make sure those buckles stay really nice. And it's also a really unique format. Our arena is really big, one of the largest arenas in the sport. And so it says something when you win a buckle there. And it's just, it's really cool to see. You'll see a lot of the cowboys during the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in Vegas, they go up on stage to get their buckle if they win a round, and they're wearing their Salinas buckle, and I'm always like, hey, look, you know. So
awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. We got a few pictures of those buckles. I'll be sure to post that. So as we're talking about it there, actually, I'm gonna go just a little out of order here, and let's stick along that theme there of the competition. If I've never been to a rodeo before, and this is or rodeo, if I've never been before, tell me about how rodeo works. I'm a newbie here, and I see these guys on the bronc riding, bull riding, roping, even the barrel racers, the females are just flying, which is just amazing to watch. How do each one of those individual competitions work for somebody that just knows nothing about the rodeo like myself?
Right. Well, and that's something, there are a lot of people that grew up and were never around it, and it is kind of an intricate and could be intimidating sport, to learn. So we try to make sure that the announcers are talking about what goes into each event. Like, for instance, in the saddle bronc riding, they're trying to stay on for 8 seconds and get the highest score, but there's certain things like they have to keep their spurs and their heels up along the horse's neck. It's called a mark out when they jump out of the chute. And if they fail to do that, they don't get a score. So there's all these little intricate details and rules that people don't know. But basically, timed events, they're trying to get the fastest time. And the rough stock events, the bull riding, saddle bronc riding and bareback riding, they're trying to stay on for 8 seconds and get the highest score. And then you add in that the animals have to score and the contestants have to score. So there's all of that goes into the judging. But what we try to do, and with social media as a tool, as you know, is we're trying to share more videos that talk about, Calgary Stampede. They're starting this week. They put out a really cool video last week about the saddle bronc riding. They happen to have the same announcer that we do, and he was part of the video. So I shared that. That shows people, hey, this is, how it's going. They hold on to the rein, all these different things. Because even growing up in it, I don't know everything about it. And team roping's different than saddle bronc riding, obviously. But and then in barrel racing, those ladies are phenomenal. Their horses are phenomenal. They're trying to get around those 3 barrels as fast as they can. And our barrel racing takes place on the track right next to our arena, and we take great pride in making sure that ground is safe for them and optimum for their horse to run as fast as they can and things like that. So there is a lot to go into it, but I don't want people to be intimidated. Our website's a tool. We're sharing things on social media, and the announcer does talk about that at the rodeo so that you're learning and you get to know what the sport's all about, and then the next year it's even better for you because you understand more.
Right. And again, showing up, going in the grandstands, and you're just looking out and you see, okay, I'm gonna say Alex is out there, right, and he's ready to he's saddling up on a big old bull, right? So he's getting. Part of his score is also if he's selecting a larger bull. Does he get to select it, or they're being selected for them?
So in the professional bull riding, they do where they can select, the cowboys can select their bull. We don't do that. It is a draw. We try to make sure that we're hiring the best stock contractors with the best stock so the cowboys have a chance to get a really good score, but that is a draw for them.
Yeah. And again, we don't have to go too much in detail or whatnot, but I've had a chance to walk around the back and see these animals, and they all seem like they're being they all look like they're living like kings back there, kings and queens. You want to talk a little bit about that, or is it maybe not so much?
Oh yeah, for sure. The animals that compete and the livestock that travels from rodeo to rodeo, they are owned by stock contractors, and many of them have these big ranches, where when they're not at a rodeo, they're just hanging out, eating grass, being fed hay, things like that. They say the bucking stock works for 3 minutes a year. And then the rest of the time they're just kind of hanging out. Yeah. You'll see during our show we run the mares and the foals through, so you can see that the babies travel with their moms to these different rodeos. And yes, the mares buck. They're all bred to buck. There's like bloodlines and all of this that goes into the breeding. I've had people walk back there before and say, okay, where are the animals that buck? And I'm like, well, that's there they are, and they're like, wow, they're so fat and shiny. And that's the thing. And they're worth a lot of money. These stock contractors take great pride in raising them to do what they do and bringing them to prestigious events like Salinas. So it's a really cool thing. And we have some videos on our website too that talk a little bit about our livestock program, the rules that are in place to make sure that the animals are safe. Some of the stock contractors talking about those animals. So that's at carodeo.com under livestock info, about us and livestock info. And so I encourage people, if you have questions, go look that up. But also notice when you're at the rodeo how healthy these animals are, and what a cool thing. I mean, they're competitors too. Like I say, they often make up half the score depending on the event. And so the cowboys, and they want to make sure that the horses and the bulls are healthy. And then obviously the barrel racing horses, those, and team roping horses and all these people that are hauling their horses all over to compete, they keep them in great shape.
Yeah, I noticed that. And that was, I had a chance to interview, or again, it wasn't me interviewing him, but I was behind the camera or behind, the operation. But one of the cattle owners, great man. I forgot his name.
Is it Jeff Davis from Four Star Rodeo? Yeah, he's from Northern California. Yep, Cottonwood.
Yeah, and it's and he said the same thing. It's really amazing. He's like, this bronc or bull. This is his 8 seconds of glory for the year.
Right.
And it's pretty amazing. And like you said, I'm sure they're not cheap. To feed and
exactly.
And to keep healthy. But it's a lot of passion behind much more than just what we get to watch on the grandstands. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's a lifestyle. It's not a sport or just entertainment for those folks. It's their day-to-day life. Those animals eat before they do. Yeah. So it's something that people may not think about, or when they do, they really wonder. But that's why we're trying to make the information more available and just tell the stories so people are able to find out all about that.
I love it. Let's take a couple steps back and let's talk about the buildup of Big Week. I'm not sure how many years it's been, but over the last couple of years, you started off on Friday with a concert, right?
Right. And that's been a few years now, and it's really cool. We partner with David Drew Productions, and he helps us secure some A-list talent. We've had Aerosmith, Blake Shelton, Brad Paisley, Kid Rock, and then this year we have Tim McGraw. And so that's a big country name. We've already sold about 16,000 tickets, I think, so people are excited for that. And it's also a social event. Even if Tim McGraw is not your favorite, there's people now that know the concert is put on really well. Right. It's a really fun event, and it is definitely the kickoff. That concert starts, our carnival opens, we have 2 parades the next night, and then it just rolls from there through the Sunday of Rodeo.
Somehow, some way, or some weird reason, people contact me and knock on the door and say, "Hey, Alex, I need tickets to the concert." I'm like, "Good luck, good luck. Go buy them. They're for sale."
Exactly. They wanted free ones from me. I'm like, I bought mine.
Go to the box office. Sorry, but you can. Tickets are still available for that concert this
there
Friday. Are 2 weeks Friday.
Right, a week from this Friday.
Gosh, it's flying, huh? We're flying.
Don't remind me.
4th of July. this Thursday, we're gonna have a nice 4-day weekend, and then it's work time.
Then it's just rolling, whether we're ready or not.
Ready or not, here it all comes. And let's talk about one of the. So let me give a little backstory. So one day I was here filming out of the office, and I started filming the Parade of Lights, with my cell phone, and the parade streaming live to Facebook, And next thing I know, I'm looking down, and I usually don't get a whole lot of engagement on my personal Facebook Live. Nobody wants to see somebody's face that it's like, just come over and hang out. It's
right.
Like all my friends and family, like, just come and hang out. I don't want to see you live. But next thing I know, I started getting 10, then 50, then 100 viewers all on this Parade of Lights live stream that I was doing with my cell phone, hanging out the window with a pretty good view. And the next thing I know, the idea crossed my mind. I shared the word with probably some family, and some family caught wind of it.
Yep.
And I thought, wouldn't this be a great idea for this free event to also be showcased and shown to to everybody that didn't get to make it, you know. Somehow, some way, that's when we crossed paths and we talked about live streaming the parades, the Kitty Caper Parade, which my earliest memory of the Kitty Caper Parade is not actually being in the parade, but one of my cousins, about a year older than me, when he was like 6 years old or 5 years old, he's nearly 40 now, having pictures of being in the parade, you know, and his mom used to, you know, again, put him in the parade, I think year after year.
Yeah.
And that was just so long ago, and now here we are, 2019. In the last couple years, we've been streaming it live.
Right.
And the Como de Rodeo has so much rich history as well. Can you talk to everybody a little bit about these two great parades and their history? And
Sure. This is the 89th year for the Kitty Capers Parade.
Wow.
Which is nuts. I mean, that's a long, long time. And then the Como del Rodeo Parade, too, is it was disbanded for quite a few years, and we brought that back in 2010 for our 100th anniversary, and it's been going strong ever since. And Kitty Capers used to be on Tuesday night, but now we run that on Saturday before the Como del Rodeo Parade, so everybody from the community can come out. They can see, you know, over 1,200 kids in the Kitty Capers Parade, and then it's followed up by the Como del Rodeo Parade, which is a night lighted parade, and so most of the floats and entries have lights, so that's really cool. And yeah, it's something that we put on with the help of sponsors. You know, the rodeo produces it, and about 20,000 people, I think, come out downtown Salinas for that, and it's really cool. It's that nostalgia and that feeling of Big Week. Like, that's something that everybody remembers and gets excited about.
yeah, do you guys have a guesstimate of how many people are up and down this Old Town Salinas and on the street?
We think close to 20,000.
I would guess that.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess 20. You know, pushing
gets
30.
packed.
It gets packed.
Yeah.
I mean, for those listening, wherever you're at out there, and have never been to Salinas, I mean, it's a pretty long stretch of road here. It is not quite a full mile, but from the Steinbeck Center all the way to the was it the quadrangle out there?
Well, they go from Salinas High, I think,
Salinas
or
High,
Park Row. So it is a
Row.
little more than a mile if
Right.
you're walking the whole
Yeah.
route. And then, like you said, with the live streaming,
Yep.
there are people that don't live here anymore that remember it so fondly and want to see it. So we've made some changes for this year's live stream. They want less announcing and interviews and just more of just the parade.
Yep.
So we're going to give the people what they want.
Absolutely. that is true. We're excited about that, and we're excited to be doing that once again. This is I think it's an amazing thing to share what you guys are doing, you know, and that kickoff. I mean, it's a free event, you know. Everybody should be able to tune in, right?
Absolutely. It's cool what you can do with technology now.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Moving into, you guys got a couple of days off, but I'm sure you're doing a lot of building up for the week. But moving from the I was starting to touch on the next event, which was the PBR.
Okay.
But the Como Parade, real quickly, the history. When was the first one? Do you know? Because I have some video clips. They were black and white. I mean, it could have been 100-year-old footage.
It's over 100 because I can't think of the year. It's on a website, but I can't think of it.
Okay.
But the Grand Marshal this year is Ed Montana, who wrote the song Saddle Up Salinas and is coming for his 40th year this year, is riding in a car that was in the parade in 1919.
Wow.
So,
That's cool. Yeah,
yeah.
Is that right?
No.
I don't know. So you got to tell me.
1919. It's 100 years ago.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. They're shipping that car here. It's going to go through the parade with Ed in it. So it was over 100 years ago.
Wow.
And then we took a little break, and then we brought it back.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, the people, the community has really embraced it, and
Absolutely.
there's no reason for it to stop now, right?
Right.
Through the week, you guys you do your kickoff of every before you start the rodeo, you do a little horse parade through the city as well, right?
Yes, on Thursday and Friday nights. That's newer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably already going on for over 5 or so years, maybe more, because it all kinds of runs together. But is on East Alisal Street on Thursday and Friday evenings, and then our performances those nights start at 6. And then the Saturday and Sunday performances start at 1:15, and there's a horse parade that starts at 10:30 in Old Town Salinas, and they all end up at the rodeo grounds. But yeah.
Awesome. And we get to, if you're sitting there in the grandstands, it's basically the parade just keeps marching in right through there, right?
Yes, as part of our grand entry.
Awesome. let's go back to the PBR, because that's I know that's usually a sold out night, which is a little bit different from your Thursday through Sunday event, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Tell us about PBR and how that came about.
So PBR stands for Professional Bull Riders, and that's its own organization that's just bull riding, just professional bull riders that go every weekend. And this will be the 19th year that we've had a PBR event. This is on the Wednesday before rodeo starts on Thursday. So it's Wednesday night, and we sell almost 10,000 tickets on a Wednesday night. There's a lot of riders with names that fans recognize. It's just bull riding for 2 hours, and bull riding fans love it, and it's been a super successful event for us and a great way to kick off the rest of the week. And the distinction is that you will only see bull riding, and then people call us and ask, well, am I going to see bull riding at the rodeo? And yes, we do two sections of bull riding on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then one on Sunday. But obviously the rodeo also has the other traditional rodeo events, team roping, steer wrestling, saddle bronc riding, tie down roping, all that. But Wednesday night is just about the bull riding.
Awesome. Before we start getting into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and really I just want to touch on the themes of each week, of each night, excuse me. But, this is such a great week because you can go to the rodeo every single day and it's going to be different. At least that's the vibe I've had. It is some similarities. You're going to see some of the same, similar events, but they're all uniquely different day to day. And I have this story of one time I mentioned Wyoming just a bit ago. One of my best friends lives out there, and I went out at the end of July, actually right after our big week here, into the first week of August when I one of my last visits. And he's like, yeah, we have rodeo every single day, every single day
right.
through the summer. It's like, do you want to go on Tuesday? Let's go to the rodeo. Do you want to go on Thursday? Let's go to the rodeo, right? So rodeo over there. Rodeo.
Right.
You hear that? Yeah. Let's talk about our week, Thursday night, tough enough to wear pink, Friday. Go ahead. I'll let you do the talking.
Talking about giving back to the community, and one of the really unique things about rodeo, and I think the Western lifestyle, is that they love doing that. So Wrangler started the Tough Enough to Wear Pink campaign, I think back in 2004. Since then, they've raised over $20 million for cancer and breast cancer causes. And the coolest thing, I think, is that as a rodeo committee, we're able to pick the charity that we want to raise the money for, and so it stays within your local community. We're not just shipping money out somewhere. Yeah. So we partner with the Salinas Valley Memorial Healthcare System and the Comprehensive Cancer Center, and so that's been a really cool thing because unfortunately so many people have been impacted by, cancer, breast cancer. It's a really unique thing. $1 from the tickets sold on Thursday night will go to that cause. We see fans and contestants wearing pink shirts. We have cancer survivors releasing the doves on during our grand entry that night. So it's just a moving and unique thing, and another way to give back to the community. Friday night, pretty sure we're the only rodeo with giant vegetable mascots racing down our track. Yeah. So that's Fight Hunger Night, and we do a produce mascot race, as you know, some people listening may not know. Salinas Valley's lettuce capital of the world. We grow a ton of vegetables here, and there's this nonprofit called Ag Against Hunger, and they go out, and after the farmers have harvested all the premium produce, they glean the field and take that fresh produce and donate it to food banks. So the produce companies pay an entry fee to be in this race, and we have Artie the Artichoke and all these giant mascots that go out on our track and do a race. We've made them ride stick horses. We've made them carry eggs on spoons. There's always some element. They rode bouncy ponies one year, so it's not just a foot race.
The potato sack.
Yes, they had to do a sack race. I'm not sure what the spin is this year, and I wouldn't say it even if I did. No, but
it's a surprise.
Yeah, so that's on Friday night on our track, and that's just a really unique thing to our community. Saturday's our Salute to Military Day, and we partner with the Monterey Bay Veterans here in Monterey County. They have actually, the coolest thing that they've done is they built a dive boat that accommodates quadriplegic veterans and wounded warriors. So they're able to go out and dive. But they also do a big fishing derby every year. And as one of the people that's involved there, fishing's kind of like the equalizer. Everybody's done it growing up. If you go through and you have an injury or you're affected by combat, you're able to come back and go fishing, and it makes you feel normal and like you can do something. So they have fishing boats. They do a derby every spring. They also drive golf carts to transport people from our parking lot to the front gates as their like service to us, and they earn money. We also on Saturday and Sunday will have a giant American flag being parachuted in during the grand entry, which is awesome. It's so cool to watch. And on Saturday, veterans and active military will gain free entry into the rodeo. And this used to be with Fort Ord, where the soldiers would just flock. They'd bring them over on trailers to watch the rodeo, and it's really cool, and a lot of people remember that. So it's nice to still be able to offer the free entry and to thank our servicemen and women for what they do for us. Let them come have fun at the rodeo one day. And then Sunday is our Day of Champions, which is when all the winners of the events are announced, and also our Man Up Crusade Day, and that's to raise awareness and funds for domestic violence causes. And we partner locally with the YWCA of Monterey County, which has non-disclosed shelters, one-stop service place for anybody that needs help to get out of a domestic violence situation. And they were so excited when we partnered with them just for the awareness factor, not even so much the funding, just because a lot of people didn't know that they exist. So we have Pink Night, Green Night, Red, White, and Blue Day, and Purple Day, because purple is the color for the domestic violence awareness. And so even if you don't just love rodeo and you don't have your favorite cowboy that you want to come see, come out and support one of those causes. And then pretty much when people come out one time, they always come back the next year because it's so much fun.
Yeah, I see them year after year. Yeah. And make sure you have your attire ready. You got 2 weeks to start planning,
That's right?
You got 3 weeks. We got 3 weeks, 2.5. It's good. We're getting there. You said even if you don't know your a favorite cowboy or anything, are there some names that people should be looking out for that you know of?
So I haven't seen the contestant list for this year, but we usually do get the best of the best. A lot of the top 50 contestants that do end up making, there's top 15 that make the NFR, but we get a lot of the top 50. We're fortunate. They want to win the buckle. They like our cool weather. They love the strawberries. There's cool things in Salinas. The team roping is huge, and people come and stay for the whole week and rope for like 5 days. But we've had, Trevor Brazil's the king of the cowboys, and he usually enters Tough Cooper and the tie-down roping world champion, Sage Kimsey, the world champion bull rider. He's actually the face of our ad campaign this year. So we do get some of the big names, and we'll be publishing that contestant list soon. So if you want to look for somebody, check out the list on the website, and we'll try to highlight some of the bigger names too.
I might get a slap on the wrist if we don't talk about those bullfighter only guys too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, those guys are pretty awesome.
They are awesome, and that's the finale to our show every day, is this freestyle bullfight where for 70 seconds, the bullfighters, display their agility, how quick they are, and do all these tricks with these Mexican fighting bulls trying to kill them the whole time, basically.
Right.
And
so flips over the bulls and whatnot.
Yeah, they jump, they flip, they do fakes. We have 6 of the bullfighters competing, and that is sanctioned by the Bullfighters Only, which that's BFO. If you guys never heard of them, look them up. They're doing some awesome stuff to make bullfighting, one of the big rodeo events again. We started the bullfights back in the 1980s, and a lot of other rodeos did, and then a lot of them stopped having them, and we've had them consistently ever since, because it's definitely one of the fan favorite events at our show.
Yeah, and I you hold it right towards the end of the night, and it really holds everybody there.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yeah, so the grandstands fill up.
It's definitely something to watch.
It is.
My son, who was 12 a year ago, is 12. He's 13. He'll be 14. He'll be there this year, volunteering. He should be. Put that boy to work. But that was one thing that his eyes glue. These bullfighters, and he's like, I want to meet one, Dad. I want to meet one guy.
Right.
And again, we're fortunate enough to be right there behind the scenes where we're driving, leaving away. Like, he happened to be the winner, and I'm so bad with names. I forgot the gentleman. Ross. Yes. So he happened to be walking out. This was before he won, and my son got to shake his hand. And he was like, "Man, I just met a superstar, you know, and then who would have known? A couple days later, he won the event on the weekend.
Yes.
And then my son got another photo with him and his buckle, and he loved it.
That's awesome. Yeah, he had been out with a knee injury, he had surgery, and then he came back and won, and he's a previous winner. I mean, those guys are definitely crazy, but they're also in really good shape. You know, they go to the gym. They're like they are professional athletes. Yeah. It's just that their sport and their event is so unique.
Right. Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. I wouldn't get in there.
No.
Heck no.
No, I don't even like standing right next to the fence.
No. Got the camera sticking through there. They're like, oh, yeah. Get it back.
Here they come.
You know, again, we started off the show with just a quick mention of one of the biggest rodeos across the country, and that's why you're one of my favorite marketers, because that's a big task. Yeah, that is a huge one. How did you get into marketing? I'm going to kind of start going into the marketing aspect, because as many of our listeners that are listening, I hope you're still tuned in, you know, they're here to hear about your marketing stories and the marketing success stories that you've been having. And let's start with, how did you get into marketing?
Well, I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and I studied ag business marketing with a minor in wine and viticulture. So I actually
we got to switch up the show, Alejandro. we need to go back to that wine show idea that we talked about.
4 p.m. We'll have some wine. But I did work in wine for a few years in public relations, and then hospitality, and then marketing. And so they ended up moving the office from Gonzales, California, here in Monterey County, to San Francisco. And at that time, I interviewed for my current position and started working for the rodeo. But all of those things, PR, hospitality, marketing, are part of my job. My title's marketing manager, but we're not for profit, and we all wear a lot of hats in the office. And I always loved the rodeo. I didn't know about how much they gave back to the community and all of that till I started working here. So that's been one of my missions, is how do I let everybody know this? You know, not even all of our volunteers know it. So striving to be creative and find different ways to get the word out. The first year that I did the advertising poster, which are the ones we put out at businesses all through town and the county, I did a guy bucking off of the bronc, and my dad's like, "Why are you showing? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, Dad, that's more exciting than a guy just sitting on a horse. You know, I'm trying to get some new people to come to the event." Mr. Traditional Cowboy was like, no. But also, I've worked with some really creative people. I have a marketing committee with people with great ideas that are all part of the local community. I have a designer that I had actually worked with when I worked in wine, and we've been working together for probably all 12 years that I've been here, and just trying to come up with creative ideas. And not, you know, we have our hardcore loyal fans that we love and we depend on, and they're going to come every year and they know their favorite cowboys. But we also have people that it's a social event, it's something fun to do, and then the people that don't know anything about it. And I'm trying to catch those people and get some new fans. So we try to be super creative in our campaigns. One year there's a little cowboy in all of us, and we had a lady in surfer with chaps on standing on the beach, and we had a motorcycle that we put a wagon wheel on the front. Like, there is a little cowboy in all of us. It's Americana. It's, you know, it's just something that everybody can kind of relate to, or wants to be a cowboy, or looks up to cowboys. And so we've done that. We did this year is Find Your Cowboy Roots, and we use kind of some cool colors and just a really simple image, but we want people to find your cowboy roots, come out, or like, if you know and love the event, bring your friend, help them find their cowboy roots. So we're just constantly trying to change it up, whether it's the colors, the visuals, and to attract those new people, and get somebody that walks by the poster and stops and says, maybe I want to go to that, you know, versus we know the people that are always going to come. Again, we love them, season ticket holders, you know, that can help us to educate and create these new fans. So that's what we're hoping for.
You've been kind of at the heart of, for the last 12 years, the heart of marketing for this event. And you've gone through this monster shift of traditional marketing into this digital world that we're in. And I'm sure you're still doing a whole lot of traditional marketing,
right.
And how has that shifted and or impacted, you know, the business and or the ticket sales, or, you know? Right.
Well, I laugh. I mean, we had a MySpace page when I started, and now we have all these social media channels, and it's like, you know, it's a lot of work to be able to man those social media pages, but you have to. People rely on that as much as your website now. And so I have a team that helps me, that they come in, they're experts because it's constantly changing. So we work with a team, we work with people like you guys. And then one of the other things we say, mixing tradition with technology, because when I first started, I think it was only the second year maybe that we had the giant instant replay screen. It's the Jack in the Box instant replay screen now that we bring in because our arena is so big and it's so cool, but the fans need to be able to see the action closer than they are just from sitting in the grandstands. And it also is an educational tool. So then as they zoom in on the cowboy in the chute or whatever, the announcer will say, okay, you know, he's getting ready. This is what he's doing, stuff like that. And it just makes you feel like more a part of the event. And so we've had the replay screen. Social media has been huge. Bigger, better website. I mean, all of that's important, as well as we still do the postcard mailers. We still do print brochures that sit at people's businesses. Those posters that I talked about. Our bumper stickers are probably one of our biggest traditional pieces of advertising. The yellow bumper sticker that you see on bumpers throughout. You see it on horse trailers lined up. The contestants every year that they have competed, you know, will put those in their horse trailers. So that's huge. And then also those big yellow 4x8 signs that we put out. Just that traditional media, it's a good reminder. And also if people are new to the area, seeing that and saying, oh, hey, I'm going to be here, you know, July 18th through the 21st. So stuff like that.
This isn't I'm not trying to, no trick questions or nothing here. I just don't really know how to quite say it. How deep or how far do you market, you know, how deep is your audience, or how far do you go, or do you try to do marketing, for example, like right in the heart of Texas, you know?
Not really. We do find we get international guests that will come to California and look for things, and they'll buy tickets online and come here and love it. But we typically will go kind of like 3 hours north, east, and south, you know, Santa Maria to Fresno area. It's super hot over there. They love coming here during the summer to cool off. And then Sacramento, same thing. And just because there are a lot of rural communities around those areas too, of people that love rodeo and will travel. There are the people that will just go to websites and want to go to a lot of the big rodeos. Like I went to the Pendleton Roundup in Oregon because it's awesome and it's a big rodeo. You know, there's people that want to come to Salinas. We also live in the most beautiful place. So when we partner with like Las Vegas events, for example, the messaging is like, hey, have your summer vacation in Salinas, come to Monterey County, go to the rodeo, and you can see all this beautiful stuff. You can golf, you can wine taste, you know, stuff like that, to kind of make it part of a destination as well. And it's lucky that it is during summer for us. You know, a lot of people are vacationing. But yeah, targeted would be, I would say, like Sacramento, Fresno, Santa Maria-ish.
Gotcha. Pretty much California,
right?
California-ish. With that, you're managing the dollars. Are you spending? Are you pulling the trigger yourself, or is that a team doing the paid ads? Do you have?
Well,
the reason I ask this is because I want to kind of get some of your insight on when you place an ad on television, you might be spending $300 a spot, and you know you pull the trigger on a video ad on Facebook, you know, and that's costing you $4 for every 1,000, you know, and you spend $100 and you know you hit 10,000 people or something like that.
Right.
You know, or, you know.
So we're in a bit of a unique situation because we have media partners for a lot of the traditional media, the television and radio. And so we'll do trades for that versus the cash on social media, because obviously Facebook's not going to trade with anybody. It's hard money. But, you know, we're just strategic in that budget. And I do have the social media expert team that helps me. But I say, okay, this is how much money we want to spend. These are the things that we really want to push, you know, awareness, ticket sales, etc. And it's a bit of a challenge because yes, we have the 4 days of the rodeo, but there's the carnival and there's the PBR, and we're kind of.
I didn't even talk about the carnival that comes. You drive down the freeway and your child is like Yeah,
it's in a good spot.
Over there.
Yeah,
take me.
One of the big things though is that is not on site. Unfortunately, we are super constrained for the space that we do have at the Salinas Sports Complex with the parking and everything. So the carnival takes place July 12th through the 21st. So it's all of Big Week, but it's off site on Sunway, but you can see it from the 101 freeway. And so that's a great marketing tool right there.
Yep. No, it got me a lot of times when my son was younger. I'm sure it's going to get me now as my daughter's growing.
Right.
Let's one more question there on that one. What platform have you felt has been working the best for you guys for the California Rodeo? Facebook, Instagram,
Traditionally or recently Facebook, but we're also seeing a ton of growth in Instagram right now. So we're paying that a lot of attention too. We didn't, Snapchat was just okay when we dabbled in that. We're trying to increase our YouTube, making sure we're posting all our videos there, but definitely Facebook with like the traditional user, I would say, and then also Instagram, a little bit younger, or someone that just doesn't want to see all the other stuff that you see on Facebook, just straight pictures and a little caption. So definitely we're focusing on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. I love it. We do have your Instagram channel. You want to just go through a couple of images?
Sure.
And
Sure.
So we got a little over 8,000 followers here. So if you're not following, go to it's CA Rodeo Salinas on Instagram and make sure you smash that follow button right up on top. Let's talk. We talked a little bit about the bullfighters only. Right off the bat, we've got.
That's Weston Fear the Beard Rutkowski right there. He's one of our past champions, the current BFO world champion. And the great thing about these guys is they're great personalities too, and they go to do PR for us or meet kids and things like that. But yeah, that's him in action.
People come for the whiskey.
Oh yeah, the Pendleton whiskey. We have a saloon that's open all 4 days, and it's just a fun place. There's music. You can actually stand out in the front yard of the saloon, if you will, and watch the rodeo. So good social atmosphere, and Pendleton Whiskey is a great partner of ours.
Awesome. They are a partner sponsor.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're gonna a little love there then. A little love there for them. And you just mentioned that carnival. Here's one of them carnival rides that no parent loves to get on with their child and today as they go on it 15 times, right?
Right. And if you want to buy your unlimited wristband, they're $25 at the box office right now until the 11th, and then they go up to $35 at the carnival. So it's a deal at the moment. I'm
gonna pull up. I can't get a real close up, but look at. Pull it up on your own phone. You could see that belt buckle.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
Tim O'Connell, our champion bareback rider, with his champion can of Coke, which Coke's also a sponsor, so that's cool.
It's awesome. Before I move on from this swipe here, tell everybody about the clear bag policies that are very important that everybody should know about.
Yes. So a lot of different stadiums and venues are moving to the clear bag policy. We went with it last year for the first year, to increase public safety as well as efficiency and getting in the gate. So just make sure you know the rules. You are allowed to bring a small clutch. There are size specifications or a clear bag. But not clear backpacks. There's just a lot of different specifications, but our gate committee does a really good job enforcing this. They're super nice people. Please be nice to them when you get there. Try to know before you go. We have a section on our website that talks about the rules, and you don't really want to carry a whole bunch of stuff around anyways.
No,
yeah.
Nope, you do not. You just want to carry a glass of that Pendleton whiskey right there in your hand. And the Charros.
Yes, on Sunday, during the grand entry, we will have a performance by the local Salinas Valley Charro Association. This is the second year. I love that picture from last year. Dancers. It's a really cool cultural event, and will take place again on Sunday, July 21st, but about between 1 and 2 o'clock.
How about those grandstands right there?
I know, right? Sunday is our largest day, so get there early. Come early, find your seat. Those are reserved seats. The seats on the north and south grandstands are not. Those are general admission. General admission is only $15 for adults and $7 for kids. So it's pretty affordable. Parking's $10. We also have an area designated for Lyft and Uber drop off if you plan to have that Pendleton whiskey.
Awesome. I'm going to bring it to we're getting close to the end of our time here. You know me. I love to chat with you. We could keep talking all day, right?
Right.
This is not quite as bad as you thought.
No.
Change it back on one over there, Alejandro. Did you see what we did to the room? You know, see
Yeah,
see
I
what
like
we
the
did. I can't
posters.
we don't have a camera operator to pan on the posters there, but did you like that touch? I did that just for you.
Oh yeah, love
Yeah.
it. My kids are on that poster.
Those are yours?
Yeah, two
Oh,
of the
that's
little
awesome.
yeah.
That's so cool. Now I know. Now I know. We're gonna go with this theme all throughout the rest of the month.
Perfect.
Yeah, I need some props right here for my Star Wars guys and my Sharks guys over
We
there.
used to do bobbleheads.
Yeah,
We did way back when. I know.
seen one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I had to
If
have
I
that.
find one, I'll give you
I had
one.
to have that. It would go perfect right there. So real quickly before we move forward, you're wearing a pretty awesome T-shirt. I noticed you got an awesome mug here. Yeah, you got some
Yep.
merch.
Oh yeah, people love the Rodeo logo. We have all kinds of cool things. This is a cool T-shirt, sweatshirts. We have clear bags that we sell as well. Coffee mugs, all kinds of cool things with the Rodeo logo that people love. Jackets, because sometimes it does get a little chilly. So in case you forgot yours. So the souvenir team's doing some really cool merch this year. But you can only buy it at the Rodeo. So come out.
I got myself a hat last year.
Oh yeah, lots of cool hats.
Got a lot of cool hats there to choose
Yes.
from, and a lot of compliments when you put one of those on.
Perfect.
I should have been wearing it today. What was I thinking? Before I move on, anything else you want to add to marketing? Maybe a little bit about some of the video marketing that has been going on?
Video marketing is getting bigger and bigger. I've heard great things. Mag One produced our English our English and Spanish TV commercials this year, and people are like, they're so good.
Awesome.
So thank you for doing that.
Awesome.
But yeah, video marketing, I mean, just trying to tell the story, right? To get our scholarship recipients talking about what they're going to do with the money and how much it means to them, because a press release is just words on paper versus the emotion and feeling that you can get by having people on video. I'm trying to think what else. Last year we did a great video with the McClernand & Co. team about rodeo responsibility.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that was
so
huge.
hashtag rodeo responsibility, or go to our website under About Us, Rodeo Responsibility, and there's a video that our announcers just talking about the history of the rodeo, benevolence, about how we want people to become a part of our Western lifestyle. And again, like we were talking about, bring someone with you, expose them to the event, teach them about it, and we're creating new fans that continue to support the sport, the industry, the lifestyle. So that was a really cool video. We have volunteers. I said we have 1,400 volunteers. We have 70 committees. You don't have to be a cowboy or a cowgirl, right? We need people that know banking.
Yeah.
We have a lot of these different committees, maintenance and construction. We need a lot of different people. And we have volunteers that have been volunteering for over 50 years and volunteers that have been volunteering for over 25 years. So this year we're going to try to talk to some of them and do a highlight on that, because that's amazing to dedicate that much time and energy to a cause and to a community event. So we're trying to figure out the stories that we want to tell and that we think that everybody wants to know.
Well, we love being a partner with you guys, and we're here for you to produce many, many great videos for you,
Thank you.
Through the years. So whatever message that we can continue to get out there.
Thanks. I know we need to sit down and outline it, because it's about that time.
It is that time. Mandy, again, CA Rodeo Salinas on Instagram, probably the same thing on Facebook.
Yes.
Website, carodeo.com.
Correct.
carodeo.com. And if they haven't bought their tickets yet, where can they buy them?
Yep, you can buy them at our box office Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for walk-ups. That's at 1034 North Main. You can call 800-549-4989, or you can go to our website and buy them 24/7 at carodeo.com for all of the events.
Awesome. Very good.
Yep.
Is there anything that I forgot to mention or talk about, or?
I don't know. It's so much. I'm sure in 10 minutes I'll think of something, but you did a great job. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
No, I'm honored for you to be here. And again, like I said, I was really honest that you're one of my favorite marketers.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's huge. I mean, I know what you do is not easy, and there is a task from so many different angles. And I know we didn't go super deep in each individual, but I'm really glad that you got to get the message of the rodeo out there, and we'll continue to spread the word and spread the love.
Thank you. It's fun. I mean, every job has its issues, right? But it's so much fun. And again, like I said, to get up every day and know that I'm helping to give back to the community that I live in and that I love and that I grew up in, it's unique and it's awesome.
Well, there it is. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Mandy, for being here again.
Thanks, guys.
And Everybody knows this. I hate to say goodbye, but this is the end of our show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button and following us on iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere that you love listening to your favorite podcasts. I'm Alex. This is The Connection. Peace.